In this video, I'm specifically looking at what arm locks worked and got the tap and what arm locks didn't. So we got Keenan Cornelius and Gary Tonin, very old match when they were brown belts. Keenan is setting up his attack from the full mount. We're just interested in just what happened with the arm locks for this video, not really much else. So what we're going to see here, Keenan throws the leg over. Now he's attacking the arm lock from here. Gary Tonin's a master of escapes, but let's see how Keenan deals with this. He's got two hands on the wrist. He gets the tap. So let's look again. And the biggest adjustment I've made on my arm bars in like the past few years is the Danaher detail to try to break the elbow over your hip. Obviously, we're not really trying to break our friend's arms, but you know what I mean. So Gary could potentially get out here if he walked his feet close to Keenan's head and raised his head up. You could also maybe get finished here, but he's trying to change the angle of his body. Keenan threw the leg over. Now he's looking to raise his hips, and he's going to try to get the extension on the elbow. And here's where the tap comes. You can see the angle of Gary's elbow. Keenan's got two hands on the wrist. There's a lot of torque. You can see the tension from his shoulder to his wrist there. And he gets the tap. Next one's going to be from the last Nogi Worlds, Dante Leon. He attacks the arm lock, but this time it doesn't work here. So he's got the wrists here, but his opponent just kind of keeps turning, throws the leg over, kicks Dante in the face. But to me, I was kind of mind blown when I saw this match happen when it first happened, because why didn't he get it, right? So let's see if we can see a difference. So Dante's, however he set it up, he flips his opponent over, and he has a fully extended arm lock. But I think the issue here is that he's just kind of pinning it right to his chest. He should be looking to guide the wrist over his left hip, and he'd have a lot better fulcrum for breaking. But instead, his knees don't seem to be too far pinched together. He just seems like he's focusing on pinning the wrist to his chest, which doesn't actually create the hyperextension to make someone tap. And these guys, like, there's a lot on the line, so, they're basically going to go to the point where they feel like their arm's about to break, and some flexibility is obviously an issue here too, but I think this is more of a mechanical or technical issue, and you saw his opponent get out. Next one, we got Sanji Ribeiro on top. He goes from a really nice Kimura to arm lock transition here against Dean Lister. See, he's on the Kimura. He throws that leg over. Now he's going to post his forehead on the floor and look to roll through to his left side so he can get a full arm lock attack. You always want ideal situation, your partner's back on the floor. So now Sanji's on the arm lock. You see how Dean Lister is initially defending. He has basically just a rear naked choke grip holding his bicep. Seems like he's got the hand on the face there. But what's going to happen here is Sanji's going to be able to break the grip here. It's often tough to hold defensive grips like that for a long period of time. So Sanji's fully in control here. He locks up. He uses his leg to pin Dean's back to the floor. He controls the leg. And now Sanji extends the arm. Almost looked like Dean was ready to tap, but the pressure isn't quite right. Sanji seems like he's kind of doing the same thing as Dante and just kind of holding the wrist. If he would have been pushing the wrist down to the floor over his hip, I think that would have got the tap. And Dean did the escape that Gary Tonin wanted to use in the first clip against Keenan. He's trying to push the leg off of his face because that will let his head rise up. It's going to be hard to arm lock someone. Not impossible, but hard when their head pops out like that. And now he runs his feet towards Sanji's head, and that lets him thumb post and get that leg off of his face. And that was a really impressive escape. You really have to be calm under fire to do that. That was pretty intense. Mateus Gabriel on the left and Kennedy, Cobrinha's son, on the right. Mateus Gabriel, he's basically spends his entire life in double guard pull. He shoots the triangle, and now he's going to switch to the arm lock as Kennedy puts his back to the mat. But look how Mateus Gabriel's put on the arm lock. To me, this is kind of like a picture-perfect arm lock. He puts the elbow over his hip. He's pushing the wrist down, and Kennedy did not tap to that submission, but you can tell in a second that his arm is obviously injured here. That actually ended the match, that arm lock here. Obviously, Kennedy is a warrior. That was insane that he didn't tap. But let's just see the difference. So he goes from the triangle. Kennedy falls back to try to defend. And now Mateus Gabriel brings the leg over. And now here's kind of the point where everyone else was at with the arm lock. But he makes the adjustment by almost putting that hand into his pocket. And you're going to see right here, look at the extension on that elbow. That's where the damage happened for sure. So, I mean, a lot of people say take chokes over joint locks because this situation won't really happen. Well, guys, take a break and still escape. But, I mean, it ended the match anyways. Obviously, we're not going to have situations this intense in training, but I got to kind of show you what happens when there's a lot on the line. And these last ones, just a couple quick ones. So Demetrius Johnson in the UFC gets mount on his opponent, hits him with some punches, gets on the arm lock. Now watch, he gets the wrist, puts it over his left hip here. So he hugs the arm, fires the right leg over, cross-facing leg, extends, and now he gets the two hands on the wrist, and instead of falling straight back, he gives a little bit of that angle. So he's kind of pushing it over his hip bone. That's going to get the finish. And the last one, you're just going to see Nate Diaz manage a triangle to armbar transition really nicely. So he's on the triangle. Takanori Gomi falls over. Nate brings the leg over the face and then gets the extension on the arm. And this one he didn't bring over the hip. You don't always have to bring it over the hip, but you're going to get the most out of it that you can that way. But he kind of just went with the classic pinch the knees together. But he still has two hands control on the wrist. He has the cross face and leg, and he gets the arm lock.